In this video, guys, I want to talk about throwing away and burning all your trading rules. Stay tuned. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. All right, so I think you think that I'm going to attack this from the angle of, whoa, if you throw away your trading rules, you're going to be in trouble, blah, blah, blah. And yes, that could be an angle, but this is different. So I think I've done a similar video on this before, but a different angle. I want to kind of go a little bit further. So often as traders, we feel absolutely shackled by our rules and we feel frustrated. We can't be creative and we can't express what we feel about the market and let the intuition flourish because the rules say we need to wait for X, Y, Z. And so we stay disciplined, we stick to the rules, and we never can improve and grow. And so there's a fine line, right? Because the rules are there to stop us trading in chimp mode, to stop us over trading, to stop us trading like way too much size. They're structured to keep us with some boundaries. But at the same time, often the market changes and shifts so much that opportunities come that fall out of those boundaries, but we don't take them because we're disciplined traders. And so we feel constrained and stuck and frustrated, even though we're disciplined, or we break the rules and we get this mess. And so here's something to try. And by the way, all the disclaimers that come with it, make sure you understand the risks and etc, etc, etc. So why not try for a week, if you're an active trader, trading with no rules? Now before, I think I've mentioned this with some structure in terms of risk, but this time, what about if you trade 1/100th or 1/10th of the size so that you can pretty much trade what you want and not do any damage to your account? Because before I was saying trade normally, but keep a structured risk rules. So what about this? Go one step further. Trade the smallest possible amount that's just, if you went absolutely crazy, you can never do any damage to your account. So it's sort of some skin in the game, but now you've got no rules. You don't have to do a journal. You don't have to prepare. You don't have to do anything. You can just come to the screens. As long as you're trading that small size, that's perhaps the only rule. And you can just trade. You can trade pullbacks, you can step in front of a train, you can do this, you can do whatever you want. Trade as much as you want, little as you want. Now, how would you trade? Does that make you, is that me saying that make you think, wow, that sounds really exciting? Because if it does, then your response to that is probably because you are feeling too restricted with the rules as it is and you're struggling to stick to the rules. So the idea of this is to say, right, run free, do what you want to do, go crazy, go wild, do what you want. As long as you trade with this specific size so that you don't do any detrimental damage to your account, because it's pointless if you're doing it, you just hammer your account. We need to have that safety net in. You're going to find some interesting things. You're going to find what your natural propensity is to do. Is it to trade actively? Is it to buy breakouts? Is it to do this? Is it to do that? Is it you're going to see you in a raw form? And actually, sometimes this, if you've been through a kind of trading journey already, reveals the improvements you've made. Because here's where it gets interesting. If you've got no rules and you still wait for a specific entry, you still don't go crazy, you still stick to a various framework, then that shows you that stuff's working. It shows you that even without any restrictions, with the shackles removed, with free reign to do whatever the hell you want, you still stick to certain things, is that now your brain is starting to be hardwired correctly. You're starting to do things that you know are the right thing to do for the future benefit of your trading account. And so when you've done this experiment, you go, right, I can do whatever I want. Maybe the first couple of days you go crazy, and then afterwards you'll say, well, actually, I need to, and you start to naturally, without the constraint of rules, make adjustments and say, hey, I need to just maybe trade a little bit less on this. Maybe just chasing that's not so great. And you start to be a bit more flexible. What it does do is it allows your intuition and your trading ability, without any structure, to just flourish and shine. If it's there, it's going to be there. And if you've got propensity to kind of spot the spring extensions and mean reversion for a contraction in on the market, maybe that's the right way to do it. If you've got a good way of jumping up, so it just allows you the freedom. And after that, you can review and you go, hey, I traded without any rules, so that I can't blame the rules. I can't put my finger on the rules and say they stopped me trading. I could do whatever I wanted. I could trade whatever I wanted, wherever I wanted, however I wanted, etc. This is my results. And you look at that and you go, all right, That's just scrappy, that's just, but there, look at that. And you start to find this little diamond in the rough and go, actually, look at that. When I was free to counter trend trade that trend move, I did all right because I was patient enough to hit that a couple of times, and when I got it, erode it, or whatever it may be, something that's maybe like, oh, I never do that in my rules. So you find maybe another skill set that you've got, or an ability you've got, or a strength that you've got that you can leverage and then put into some rules. So, and if after that week you felt free and you felt like you're enjoying trading and you found this, then maybe consider not being so restrictive with your rules. Maybe consider just, I talked about the kind of tier levels of rules of importance, and the main important one is the risk management. And after that, we've got when you're getting involved and the conditions, and we go down to the triggers and the filters and stuff. You know, they become less important because risk is the key. Maybe you kind of loosen things off a bit and go, actually, you know what, I'm going to trade in these hours, this instrument, this risk, but other than that, trade what I want. Maybe, you know, so it's just a different approach. So rather than going down the rules and my plan on this and that, the other, it's a way of refreshing, resetting, so that you can then write rules and a plan that maybe aren't as restrictive and maybe more focused on stuff that's working for you, focusing on your strengths and not your weaknesses. So worth trying out. Like I say, be very, very careful about your risk. I don't want you going, oh man, I did it and then I blown my account. That's not the point. The point is to allow yourself free reign with a small amount of skin in the game that's meaningless, is not going to have any impact on your account, and to see the results and to see how effective you can be without the shackles of rules, with a view to creating some structure that actually works for you, rather than what you've seen on YouTube or in textbooks and stuff, and you know that you probably should be doing. Actually, what's working for you. So maybe worth trying out, maybe not. You decide. Take care, guys. See you next one. Bye bye.